How's that? That looks like it's better.
Is that better? Okay. All right, guys, we are live. Search for Uhuru on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Let's get some more people in the chat room. I have the Grandmaster Amin Ra with us today. We're just going to chop it up and discuss, can a brother make a living in modern Africa? Because I know a lot of people who want to repatriate to Africa, their main concern is, can they make a living? Will there be opportunities there for them to make a living and provide for their family? So, we're gonna try to answer as many questions today. I'm Grandmaster Amin Ram, who is currently resides in Mombasa, Kenya, who's been there for over 20, over 30, almost 30 years, over 20 years at least.
Over 20, over 20 years now.
Who's been there over 20 years? Obviously, he's doing. He has his martial arts academy in business. He has a family, so he's taking care of his family. So, he's going to give us insight on how can a brother make a living in modern Africa if you plan on relocating to modern African. So, I'm gonna go ahead and give the floor to Brother Amiral. And just Amiral, I know you've been out here before, but for people who haven't seen the previous videos, can you give them some of your background, just a brief introduction, unless and the floor is yours, unless you want to give a long one. Just tell people where you're from and how you ended up in Mombasa and what you do.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been in East Africa since 1997, and I spent like 5 months in Johannesburg, and then I visited 6 other African countries, traveling by road, stopping over in Malawi, Tanzania, Mozambique, and yeah. So I'm an entrepreneur. I stopped working in corporate America in 1992, and although technically I work for people, I like to say that I have not had a job since 1992. I walked off of the Thrifty Corporation. I don't know if you can remember Thrifty's
Oh,
drugstore.
thrifty, the thrift store, or thrifty, the like I think CVS bottle, the that sold the ice cream, you get your medicine and all that.
Yeah, the Thrifty's Corporation. Yeah, that was next to there in Hollywood. I think it's Hollywood or yeah, I think it was no Wilshire Boulevard.
Wilshire, okay.
Yeah,
Wilshire and what? What was the
and
cross street? What was the cross street on Wilshire? You remember?
oh, that's been a long time.
Okay.
But I think the Ambassador Hotel there where was assassinated, uh, the younger Kennedy.
Uh huh.
That hotel became famous. I don't know if it's the Ambassador. Oh, you're talking 20, 30 years now.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't think the Bassett Hotel is still there because I just left LA back in 2014.
Uh-huh.
Um, so it either is rebranded or it's no longer there. So
Okay, well, there's a building that was right next to it, and that was the headquarters for Thrifties before they moved. They moved to the south, I think.
okay.
So I don't even know if it's still there now. But anyway, for 15 years,
Hmm.
uh, I was what else did I do? Yeah. So when I left, I had my martial arts school when I was working, but when you're getting a paycheck, you can't be really serious with business. But
Hmm.
once I walked off the job, I began to get very serious with the business side of the martial arts teaching, and I made a good living at it. So, you know, when I moved to Kenya, they didn't have any modern martial arts, and I started to teach. I started teaching this farm boy at 5 in the morning. Didn't speak English, and then but he really loved the training. So from there, I moved. eventually moved to the town, which was Nairobi, and it just grew like that. I kept the principles of business in the forefront. Wasn't afraid to change and make drastic changes, and I enjoyed the people, so they taught me a lot, and it grew now. Like we had a grading in Nairobi today. I'm in Mombasa, and I'll get a pension from that promotion tomorrow, hopefully. But no, yeah. So it, uh, it's still there, growing, and a lot of my black belts, they make a living now teaching martial arts in Africa, something that was really unheard of, before. So I also do computers.
Hmm.
For 41 years, I think I've been in martial arts for 35 years. So when I came,
Grandmaster, how old were you when you left America to relocate to Africa? How old were you?
I was 37.
37. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 37
Okay.
when I came here, and today I'll be 60 years old next year. And
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know how that figures out in the time. Yeah,
Okay.
but
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. So between martial arts and computers, that's basically where most of my revenue comes from. Right now, I'm running a program. I have created a program 6 years ago called CC Gate, and I don't think my experience is the norm. And so I created this. I woke up from a dream and had this idea of a CC Gate program called a digital education program that and on use the phone,
Hmm.
and that was 6 years ago. Even there was no smartphones, but I had this idea, and it's all culminated to now where smartphones are there. The internet is very cheap and it's very fast. We have 4G speed now here in Kenya, and the government also helped out by giving out tablets to most of the schools. So the school I am was given over 100 tablets for the students. See, and the program fits perfectly with those tablets. So we're looking to launch that to most of the schools in Mombasa, and then hopefully it'll expand from there. But that just came from a dream, and for this last 6 years, I've been struggling to get it to where it is today, where it's now ready for market.
Okay. Now, you mentioned something interesting that you developed an app for the smartphone. Now, what I've noticed in Africa is people really don't have laptops or computers, desktops, that everything primarily is done from the smartphone. So how is it, or if someone's interested in, I mean, what kind of opportunities are there as far as developing apps, African-centered apps for tablets and smartphones?
Okay, yeah, mine is a program. It's not an app. During the
Okay.
time I was developing it, I was going to these iHubs, these little nucleus places where they were making these. Everybody was making these apps. People were putting money in it a few years ago, but it never really got off of the ground. And I have so many years of experience. I can look at it and say that that's not gonna. That's just a fab. It's not going to last.
Hmm.
And Bill Gates had it right. Bill Gates had it right when he was talking about the next big thing will be digital education.
Hmm.
But the problem with digital education doesn't work. There's no one place, company or program that has been able to fit, uh, you know, and fit into everyone's model behind that. But it's only because I have so many years of experience and dealing with so many different brands and so many, um, different. applications, and I came to realize that the programs that they were for the phones, a lot of them were games. They were not really profit making. The games can only last so long. Then they started having some information apps, but then that market can get saturated so quickly when you start talking about putting knowledge on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is a program. You put it into your you like we have an online website where students can log in. But then just recently, I was able to create a program, the same type of program, but it works offline without the internet. So without the internet, that saves a lot of money. And most schools don't have internet yet. So when it comes with a program that works exactly the way one would work online, but only you don't need internet. That's a big thing, and we're really excited about it. With different people in the government who have come down and watched and seen the program in action. The opportunity I have in Kenya is great, and I don't have to walk into a place where you have to deal with some Caucasian person, not knowing if that person has racist tendencies. You see, we have that issue with us as black people, but we don't really talk about it. But you have to conform to certain behaviors when you're trying to sell in the U.S. something a project like this. Always that chance that someone just doesn't like you because of who you are will undermine your project or stall you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Answering somebody in the chat room. Okay, so when you relocated to Africa,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of adversity did you face when you first relocated?
Okay, like I said, I was an entrepreneur before I came to Africa. So surviving,
Uh-huh.
making money, that was something that I was very much used to. I was not used to having a paycheck every week. I knew I had to make money based off whatever I could see that was out there.
Mm-hmm.
And naturally, I gravitated towards what I did best, which was martial arts. And there was a lot of opportunity in Africa. And this is the thing. Many blacks would come here and they would expect somebody to be handing them a job when they get off the plane. Nothing like
Right.
that. Nothing like that's going to happen. You have to
Uh-huh.
be able to situation and assess it and see where you fit in. And you have to be realistic. You can't be thinking like you're coming from the United States, so there's supposed to be something special for you given to you. No, that scares a lot of brothers. And
Right.
then yeah, so there is, but you see, you have to be, you have to look at this, you have to look at the full situation, and then what the hell are we doing here in the first place? Okay, we want to move to Africa because the United States is oppressive, or the United States is not giving me good jobs, or there's too much interference in my daily life, or I've saw so many things in Africa. People are
Mm-hmm.
talking about it, and I said, let me go there. But when we break it all the way down, really, we're talking about taking care of the next generation. Our children. You know, and this is the thing. Now, if you look at our situation in the United States, okay, we've been slaves longer than we've been free.
True.
Okay, I get
True.
that.
You made a great point there.
Yeah, but you see, the pressures that we face, even the ones we subconsciously turn away from or ignore, are very, very great, and you can't really recognize those pressures until you have something to compare it with. Yeah? So as I was saying in the last time, it took me many years to get that, to understand that pressure and try to relax down and realize I was no longer a minority in a land where so many people do me harm simply because of the color of my skin.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so and once that goes the way, you see that thing is very valuable. You see, because it gives me that peace of mind, and I don't have to have that pressure on me, and then I don't have to pass that pressure on to my children. We're here to raise children, and if you're raising your children, if you see the situation that you're in the U.S. is bad, and the educational system is bad, and then you get your children and you put them right in the same, same educational system, same environment,
Mm-hmm.
and you tell them, okay, yeah, well, when the police pull you over, that's the kind of talk you have. When the police pull you over, roll your window down, keep your hands on 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It should not be like that. There's nowhere in the world that is like that except in where we are, in the United States.
Right. So, those who are ambitious about who want to relocate to Africa, I think a lot of people have said, and you even reiterated, they should not come to Africa looking for a corporate job. Uh, for those who just have to have a corporate job if they come to Africa, what what opportunities are there, if you know of any, for those who are like, look, I want a corporate job. I don't want to leave corporate America. Is their best bet is to find a Western company that has a presence in Africa, or should they just come to Africa and then, I guess, look for a job?
Okay, well, uh, you're right. I don't think that you would really find. Well, I can't say that you won't find a corporate job. You can find a corporate job here. Africa is changing greatly,
Mm-hmm.
and there are big.
Hello? Hello? I hope we didn't lose the brother. People in the chat, can you hear Grandmaster? Let me send him a message real quick. I think we might have lost him. Hold on one second.
They should be
Oh, he's
more
back.
people that are interviewing you
Grandmaster,
should say, well, yeah,
Grandmaster, we had
pick you. So in
we had
corporate,
lost you.
in the corporate world, it's like that everywhere you go. So these are things people have to.
Hey, hello.
They
Hey,
get a better job that they want.
Grandmaster, you're going in and out. We had lost you. Um, can you hear me? Hello. Grandmaster. Well, but we talked about this before. Pretty much, if you're interested in relocating to Africa, go in a position of entrepreneurship and that of creating jobs versus going looking for a job and taking a job that uh, a local could fill. A position, taking a position or filling a position that a local could fill. That's we've discussed that often a lot, especially in the doing business in Africa segments. Um, and I would suggest looking for companies that operate if you just have to go corporate when you go to Africa, look for companies that currently have a presence in Africa that are Western countries. The next question I was going to
Hello?
ask, I'm Rahh. Hello? We
Hello?
had, we had lost you.
Oh, you lost me now. Am I back now?
Yeah, you're back now, but I hate for you to repeat yourself, but the question I asked previously in regards to corporate jobs in Africa, can you somewhat start all over and I guess give the Cliff Notes version so we can continue because we had lost you.
Okay, no. Okay, there. Okay, I have friends that are in corporate jobs or are working for big industry. So I can't say that those jobs are not there. They're there.
Mm-hmm. Now, are they Americans or are they Kenyans? You had dropped off. Are they Americans or are they Kenyan?
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah, you're back now. Are they American or are they Kenyans?
Majority of them are Kenyan.
Okay.
There's a couple of most of the brothers that I know here are retired or coming from the U.S. and that's how they live here. But there are a few of us that are here that work here and they go back and forth to the U.S. I'm the only one that really just stays.
Okay.
According to most of the groups that I'm with. Yeah. So yeah, but if a brother was like working at a job and then he wanted to relocate to Africa and then get a job in Africa, it's not the same. You know, Africa is not the same. It's not like the U.S. U.S. is not like any country. So you know, you can't expect to come and just pick up where you left off.
Mm-hmm.
That was the case, yeah. But I think I sent you a couple of pics.
Oh yeah, you did. Let me pull them up in regards to the Kenya.
And that one was the Kenya GDP. That one should surprise a lot of people. They should be able to see that what's happening all throughout Africa.
Let me ask you this: which one do you want me to pull up? The median household wealth or the Kenya GDP? Which one do you want me to pull up first?
The GDP.
Okay, all right. So the Kenyan GDP in 2016 was $70 billion. 70 billion 500. I guess that's 70 billion 53 million.
Yeah, it's not the money, but it's the graph. To look at the way the graph is going.
Yeah, let me. In fact, you know what? I could hold on. Let me do this so that people can see it. Let me download it and then I could share it and people can look at it. Hold on one second. Let me pull this up real quick.
So that's why I'm saying that a plan to come to Africa should be something that's a long-term plan that's going to go from one generation to the next.
Okay, let's do this. Let me screen. Is it screen share? Let's see here. Let me show the let me show it to everybody. Desktop. Hold on. Okay, yeah. That didn't work. Yeah, let me stop that. Hold on. What's going on? Guys, we are having technical difficulties. Please forgive me. Okay, let me stop that. All right, it's off now. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
You were taking video of the video.
Yeah, I know. That was weird. That was weird. I know there's a way where you can show it, but oh well. But the so basically it's 70.53 billion USD. And in the graph, basically, can you guys see this in the chat room? This graph? Can you guys see this in the chat room? This graph? Okay, there you go, Grandmaster. Okay, there you go. Okay, go ahead and explain it. We can look at it at your end, on your end.
Can't see how good it is, but I just want to see the way it's going up.
Yeah.
And that's
basically, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, that's what's happening throughout Africa today. As bad as they're trying to make Africa look, Africa is rising, and as something that's rising, it always breeds opportunity. Although the majority of opportunities in the rural agricultural section, Kenya is the international East African hub for ICT, and importing and exporting businesses. So these are because the majority of the jobs in East Africa are the small business or like the mom and pop shop. So the majority of businesses, like I don't know, like 80% or 90% of the businesses are just small shop businesses off of those businesses.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. No, but basically, guys, what the chart showed was how the GDP how it just climbed up from between like 2000 and 2010. I mean, Kenya had a GDP, we'll say around in 2000, of probably roughly we'll say 18 billion. Now between 2000 and 2016, it jumped from about 18 billion to 70.53 billion, which is exponential. So with that being said, it's going to continue to climb. And then with that being said, there's room for opportunity. There's plenty of opportunities in Kenya because of that with the climbing
Yeah, there are
GDP.
plenty of opportunities.
Mhm.
I'm saying there's plenty of opportunities that are coming there, and I'm saying the number of people are growing, and even the economists. I think you know the magazine, The Economist, and they were saying that the growth in Africa is going to keep growing for the next 50 years. It's
Mhm.
happening. So that as far as economically, uh, as economics are concerned, you won't come to a poor country that's starving. You know, you'll be coming to a country where people are go-getters, and there's always money to be made. There's always deals people are looking to make money. It's just it's like a madhouse here. So you know,
Mhm.
they put up a little 4 or 5 shops. They make a building and build a building and make like 5 or 6 shops, and then within a month they're all taken. People are already renting them out and starting small businesses. Africa needs most is people that have creativity. People are really willing to play for the next new thing that somebody doesn't know about. And this is where African Americans can come in.
How is it owning land in Kenya? So if someone was into real estate here in America, Black American, they wanted to go to Kenya and they wanted to build commercial buildings and rent them out to people who want to, start a business. How easy is that process? Or do you have to be a citizen or a national to own land?
Okay, yes, the answer to that question is yes and no. If you want to build land where you want to put an apartment building on that land, what like that, yes, you can buy land and own land. But if you want to buy like 50 acres, 50,000 acres, and farm, tomatoes or potatoes, no, government won't allow you to do that today. You know, they have now new laws, so you can't just take large tracts of land, go to farm. They refuse foreigners for that nowadays. But as far as you want to buy property, or you want to buy a plot of land and build an apartment building or a business or something, yeah, you can do that. That's not a problem. And that many people are doing that. And there's a lot of land. There is a lot of land, so there's no shortage. People are everywhere. That's one thing about Kenya. People are everywhere. You almost walk in the oddest of places, but yeah. Again, the opportunities are there for somebody who's looking for the opportunity. You're lucky enough to have a job. Let's just say. What about your child? What about your son or your daughter?
Right.
You see, you might have had a good education. System is not like it was 25 years ago. Yeah. So how would they how would they make it? You might have had a lucky chance to go to university or college, and you might have paid out of your own pocket, or somebody financed you. But today's college costs are extraordinary, to say the least. So how can your child afford to go to the same college you went to, and they're paying like 5 times the amount of money now for college education? You see what I'm saying? So it might be better to look at the situation from the children's standpoint, as far as why I should go to Africa, because wise, the education system here is far better, and the opportunity for them to settle and meet people and grow up in the land advantage when it comes to working into the future.
Okay, you mentioned something about the educational system. How are the schools in Kenya compared to America? Public schools, I guess.
I work at a primary school.
Uh-huh.
I just I just moved to another primary school that's 3 times as big as the one I left. Thing I can say is that the children are the same. Want to learn, yeah, and the schools are very strict on the discipline side, so there's no joking around. You know, all the way up into secondary, this all schools have uniforms, so the student is in the proper uniform, learns how to be neat, keep his shirt tucked, keep his you know trousers clean.
Right.
That has been in the Kenyan system. Um, and it's just now started on this ICT thing where they're giving out uh, uh, tablets to all of the schools. 2 years ago, they made a mandate to have electricity in every school, which is something that's phenomenal. Kenya is not a country Haiti. The 80% of the people are. This is this is a big point, you know. So when they say all schools are going to have electricity, in the bush schools also, and all these schools are going to have tablets and they're going to learn ICT.
Mhm.
It's phenomenal, and I say compared to USA Today, from what I hear, it's way better, far better, and it's a lot less expensive than the US. You know? It brings me to the point where, in most kids, when they go to high school in Kenya, in Africa in general, they're taken to a boarding school. This is something that we don't, many of us don't like, but boarding school it saves a lot. It keeps your children off drugs, keeps them from getting pregnant, keeps you from getting in your, at that teenage age. That's when you really start getting cross with your parents. Boarding school, keeps that friction away. So here, but now I'm an advocate for boarding school. It's good for the child because they learn how to get along with others. They learn discipline. They learn to wash their own clothes, cook their own meals. So it's like a mini army, and they do come out much more mature at the end of that process, as opposed to the American public school situation, which I don't have to even point out to you. I know you know it.
Okay. Um, how are the universities in Kenya compared to in America? Because the stereotype is that the universities in Africa aren't as good as the universities in America. Is there any truth to that, or as credible? I guess.
Okay, I grew up near USC and UCLA,
Uh huh.
top grade universities. Uh, and then I have also taught at Nairobi, the largest university in Kenya. I taught martial arts. I didn't teach academics, but I did deal with the students, which were the best and the brightest in the country. I would say today are having to struggle with the fact that ICT is there. In Kenyatta University, they're making laptops, and they're giving these off-campus courses. The transition in the middle of all of that growth, as far as comparing it. In the U.S., the same way. These schools are really putting a lot of emphasis on online courses, and so how can we really compare? You know, how can you really compare? They're just like basically the same. And as far as when I first came to the to Kenya, Kenyan universities were striving to use American universities as models, you know, as a model to go by. And this created a lot of unrest with the students. Students is freedom. Students were rioting. I think they just had another a riot 3 or 4 days, 2 days ago. The students came off of campus and rioted because, I mean, demonstrated, not riot,
Mm-hmm.
demonstrated because some one politician was jailed, was arrested. So they
Mm-hmm.
demanded his release. They decided to walk through the streets of the city. And when I was teaching at night, common thing where they would just running battles with the police throwing tear gas, students throwing rocks. This is like was a normal thing when years ago,
Right.
but it's still like the day it happened again. But I would say that overall, for what it is worth, there's not that much difference uh, in a university in the U.S. and a university in Kenya, because Kenya has a lot of private universities also. Class have schools here that they can go to, very very good, very very private. So you can get everything you want. I say 99% of everything you want in the U.S. you can find it African city now,
Okay.
including university education.
Now, Linnell Grant in the chat room has a, question. How do Kenyan women feel about African American men?
How do Kenyan women feel about it? Okay, well, one thing that you have to realize is that African Americans are known through movies and sports throughout the world. So whenever you see like a celebrity or a basketball player that go to an African country, they are guilty, and what you have that advantage when you come to Africa because the people will give you considerable reasonable doubt, listen to what you have to say, and give you an opportunity because you're an African American. So in that respect, the women the same way. Uh, they adore us, and then because because we're foreigners, but at the end of the day, it's your personality that's going to make you or break you. But I definitely, for my wife, I'm very lucky, So uh, I don't see that there is a hindrance there because of the gender wars in the U.S. Many guys are finding African women much better to their liking because one thing about African women, they don't curse when they get angry. They have traditional backgrounds, traditional that they do follow, and family is a great part of that. So yeah, uh, I don't see any come to Kenya. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they never had a shortage of ladies that were willing to go out with them or talk to them. So there are a lot of women here that are really nice women that don't have men because the men are either taken or they're in college and or they're working and you know and it's not really enough men you know here where I see to handle all these women. I'm living in a house with 6 women right now.
Are they all your daughters, or do you have 6 wives?
No, they're my 3 daughters,
Uh huh.
my wife, our house help, and one family member
Oh, okay.
that
Okay.
came to stay with us there. So
Okay. Cool.
I
Cool.
was looking at that. I was looking at that the other day, and I'm like, oh man, I'm here with 6 women and
Oh, so Tech Newbie in the chat wanted to know what is ICT?
ICT is just like IT, you
Okay.
know, information technology. So just anything to do with computers, they call it ICT instead of IT.
Mhm.
It's information computing technology, something like that. The acronym. If you see in Kenya, there's a big push for that now, and we have phones, and that's a big part of what's going on here now. I mean, if I want to go to the shop, take my phone, and then he tells me the price, then I send him the money through my phone. It's like that. So yeah, like very carry cash.
Okay. So in the IT sector, since that's what you specialize in, what opportunities are there for people who want to relocate to Africa as soon as they get off the plane? Like what can they build or, they're looking for employment and they want to go that route. Like what's there or what's needed?
What is okay? What is here is a great opportunity. One guy, I have one employee, and I need 5 more employees. And to
Okay.
find somebody with the experience is very difficult. You see, I have to do a lot of training with that individual because they can't get the type of training that I have for coding. Uh, these type of things. But if somebody came here that was good in coding or programming, they can find so many opportunities here. One of the things that with me is I have so many hats. I can do repair on computers. I can program them. You see, so I had to learn all of these things because there's no one that hands out that service, or those people that do it are very expensive. So yeah, there's great opportunities in IT, and it's going to be a lot more. They're building a city here in Kenya called I think it's Kungso City or Congo City, T City. It's just they're making it from the ground up, modern with the fiber optic cables and everything. All those are built into this design of a city that they're building down near Machakos in Kenya.
Okay.
I think it's Congo City. It won't be ready for another 5 years or 10 years, but they're really doing a lot of talking about that. They have the land roped off, and they've been getting investors because they wanted a modern city in Africa, like somewhat like the Chinese have done, and they started that here in Kenya.
Well, they're doing something in Nigeria called Echo Atlantic, which is supposed to be a modern city. But from what I understand, and I've heard, conflicting answers on this or views on this, either it's going to be Western companies building it for the majority of it, or I think Africans are going to actually build it. So either the West is going to build it or Africa is going to build it. But I don't know. If you don't mind me asking, so if you're looking to hire people, like what kind of pay can they expect for if you were to hire them? Hello? You there? Grandmaster?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Grandmaster. I think we lost him. Hello? Hello? You there? You back? Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah, I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. So the question was, you're looking to hire. As far as
Yeah, me, I'm
pay,
looking for hire. Well, there's so many people here that can hire, but not like
hello, hello. Hope we didn't lose him. Hope we did not lose him. Hopefully, he comes back on. Hello. All right. I think he's coming back. Grandmaster. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Everybody who's watching, no, I apologize. I apologize, everybody who's watching. But I was gonna ask him, if he's hiring. If people in the chat room, I think somebody said they were thinking about relocating to Mombasa. So if you have any IT experience, Grandmaster might hire you. But it just depends. Of course, pay is important. So once I get him back on, we'll talk about that, and then we'll go ahead and close out. Everybody, thank you for coming on. It's Sunday. If you're not boycotting football, I know a lot of you could be watching football, but you chose to join us. So I really appreciate it. It means a lot. I think Grandmaster's back on now. Okay. So that means a lot. But I'll go ahead and just wanted to remind you guys, quick reminders. I'll probably be back on again tonight. What? Oh, Grandmaster.
yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right, we got you back. So the question was, what's the, I guess, wage, or how much do you usually pay people to work for you, as far as IT goes, or whatever you were hiring for? Because
Okay,
there's some, go ahead.
the guy that I have working for me now is a Kenyan guy, and
Uh-huh.
he first came to me as a what you would call an apprentice.
Okay.
His parents came to me and said he wasn't able to go to high school at the moment, and he was also a student of mine a few years earlier, and he really had a knack for IT. So I really wasn't surprised when the parents came to me and said, "Can you teach my son computers?" And as I explained to the parents, yeah, there's no way he's going to learn this thing. Take him under the wing and showing him how all these things come together, how to build websites, how to create databases, how to put data in and out of databases, learning PHP, all these that you know that I do on a regular basis. So later on, after we had finished the agreement of time for me to teach him, I just started paying him daily. I don't know, 100 shillings
Mm-hmm.
in Kenyan money, and then it's just gradually moved up as he got more. It's going up as he gets more talented and becomes more disciplined and coming to work on time. These type of things. So I have many employees that I've trained, but most of them are in martial arts. But we're dealing with 385 class in America, ninth graders. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how you go from junior high school, ninth grade, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Junior
So
high starts. Well, now it's like ninth grade. Well, ninth grade is high school. So seventh and eighth is junior high.
yeah, so you can imagine that we have 385 ninth graders that we're trying to implement into the tablets through using my program, CC Gate, and then the class eights and the I mean yeah, eighth grade and the seventh grade. They're also I want to join. I want to be on it too. You see, so I couldn't do it all by myself. So definitely, I need people to come in and do that. And then I'm also now training him to how to implement the program into someone's computer, and then actually get it running from scratch. Because we're going to be going to different schools now and implementing the program in different schools. That's the next step.
Okay. There's a
Yeah,
question in the chat. Are there child labor laws in Kenya preventing the employment of children?
of children.
Yeah. Are there any child labor laws?
You see, when you're talking about
Like,
I would get questions like that about the law, the law, the law. Okay, and I don't want to sound facetious in this area of the law, the law, the law. Africa is not the same as the United States.
Okay.
You know, and when it comes to okay, there's a law that says you can have more than wives. This is a law in Kenya now. You can have four wives. You can legally marry four wives. Okay.
Right.
You see now, there's a great portion of the population that doesn't go for that. Goes for more than four. You know, so there's not that strictness as far as that's concerned. Now, if somebody came and said, "Okay, first of all, I'm not. This guy's not no child. This guy is 18 years old." So
But
the one I'm working with,
just
but
in general, are there any child
yeah,
labor laws?
if you're 16 years old and you start your own business in Kenya, ain't nobody gonna tell you, "Oh, you can't work. You close that down because you can't. You're underage." Blah blah. Nothing like that. There's no child police. There's no child services that's gonna run after you. It's a different life. It's much more free. The problem with the United States, which many people don't understand if they've never been anywhere else, is that the government puts its hands in too much into our personal lives.
Mm-hmm.
Let the people be. And Kenya and Tanzania and all of Africa is an example. If you let the people be, everything goes smoothly. You see, like in Kenya here, you don't have patrol cars running around, policemen running around.
We you cut out, Grandmaster. Grandmaster. Hopefully he'll come back on, you guys. And again, sorry for the technical difficulties. Um, I apologize. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you guys are enjoying the show, please click a one. If you're not enjoying the show, I will not take it personal. Please please press two. So press one if you're enjoying it. Press two if you're not enjoying it. Please, I need the feedback. Also, too, send me an email. I'm gonna put my email in the chat. Let me know exactly what we need to do to make the show better as well. I need suggestions. So please help us out. Honest feedback is much needed. I appreciate it. Anything constructive is much needed. So also too, do that as well. Let me go ahead and put my email in the chat. Search for uhuru@gmail.com. Doug, let me get some shout outs real quick. Doug, nice to see you in the building. Nice to see you in the chat. Nancy, thank you for coming. I know the regulars are in here. Nancy, Tech Nubian, Beast Mode, I see you. Who else is a regular? Global African. Let's see here. Another regular. Lionel, thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. Chanel Chateau, who's new to the chat, but she's been welcome to the family. You know, she's new, but welcome to the family. Thank you for hopping on. Let's see who else we have on here. Traveling Man, I got to get back in contact with you. We got to chop it up in regards to architecture. Yeah, that's about everybody. You know, the regulars. Victor, I see you. And JJ Redwood, Michael O, I see you as well. Benetta, nice to see you too. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Guys, please share the video. I greatly appreciate it. Please share the video. Please share the link to the page. I greatly appreciate that. Let's give Grandmaster another minute or so to hop back on, because he just completely fell off, but he should be logging back on here in a second. So let's get him back on here. Melissa, hello. Melissa from Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you for coming on. I got Wilsonian Garvey from Haiti. Hold on.
Hello?
All right, Grandmaster's coming back on. Go ahead, Grandmaster. I lost you.
Yeah, you lost me. My phone, I was charging it, then it wasn't charging, so it just died. I had to put it on charge.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so you don't have that type of military police atmosphere here. That, you know, it's just different. So a lot of the questions, I always get those same questions. And it's like, there is no way you're going to know about Africa until you come.
Right.
And I wanted to say this too.
Go ahead.
Brothers in the UK. If Africa is calling you, because it's like a spirit, and some people get it and some people don't. But if Africa is calling you, you should heed to that call. If you keep getting this thing inside you where it says you show you interest, if you show interest in Africa and you're wondering about it, you find your mind, don't just say, well, I'm never going to go there. Oh, you see, you should pay attention to that, because the ancestors are calling you in particular to come. Not your mother, not your brother, not your friend, you. And you as an individual have to make that decision. And then there are other people that doesn't, they could be bothered, could care less. But I'm saying that if you got a feeling in you, I don't even know that feeling the way I had it. It's like it's calling you. Everywhere you go, you're thinking about it, or you start to, you start to have dreams about it. It's calling you. And then for some individuals, they should take heed to that. They should take heed to that call, because if you go and if you stay somewhere happy, you just have a miserable life, and you pass that on to your children. So it's not, Africa is not for everybody, but every single African American, before he died, he needs to walk the streets and say, "I was there." At least say, "I was there."
At the very least, just walk
the very least. Don't listen to the media. You're making a big mistake. You're going to be very ready to kick yourself in the butt when you get in heaven and you look down and you're like, "Oh, so that's what it's really like." Then you'll be sorry. But I think each and every African American should not let themselves be. You see, the greatest enemy to the black man, is mass media, propaganda, news, and entertainment.
And we have to do a video on that. We have to do a video on that.
The greatest enemy. You sit there and you try to get yourself educated by what you see on CNN or on the news or on TV. You're getting miseducated. And it's generational. It's going from generation to generation. Surely, if Africa was as bad as they say, you know it. You wouldn't have conflicting examples of people telling you it's good and people telling you it's bad. And I always say, there's another thing that people are saying about, man runs Africa. Can you get serious? That's the most stupidest thing I have
Okay,
ever heard.
let's cover that.
Yeah,
So,
the stupidest thing I've heard in my life.
so you're saying that the European white people don't run Africa or foreign? Okay, and let me say this. Let's step back for a second. You're saying that foreign interests, not limited to just white people, don't run Africa.
They don't run Africa, man. They don't run Africa. I've been in all parts of government. There's not one white person that's a policeman. There's not one white person that's a politician or government official. Oh, how is that? It's impossible. It's like that's just people living in dreamland. That's the mind of a supremacist trying to tell you that they run things, and they don't run anything. You see, you could put Africans in there too because they will side with you. An African is like this. He will side with you because he wants to be polite. White man run Africa, and then an African will tell you, yes, somehow he does. But if you know the African, if you know his mindset, it's nothing like that's impossible. How? How can the Kenya? I've shown you that graph of the Kenya GDP, right?
Mm-hmm.
That graph, huh? And you
Yeah.
said it went from 60 billion to 70 billion.
Right.
And I look at the US. I look at the U.S. GDP over the last 10 years. If the white man is ruling, what the hell? What the hell is he? What the hell is he doing? He's doing a very poor job because Africa is rising, while Europe and the U.S. Is going in the toilet
Well, I'm
because
looking at the I'm looking
America
at
is great.
I'm
Huh?
looking at the graph you gave me. You sent in regards to median household wealth. I guess this is for America. Whites is at $134,230 a year. Hispanics is at $13,730 a year, and blacks is at $11,030 a year. Wow! And this is from 2013.
Can you look at the reality of our situation, and we're a minority? Can you believe a minority is making less money than the majority? So our situation is very bad. You see, like Dr. Anderson, Claude Anderson said 4 years ago, I think it was. America had 2 years. If they didn't change their policy, understanding of things in 2 years, they can hang it up. What did he mean by hang it up? No way you can come out of the economic slump that you're in. Now you're in a country now where even if you make it, you personally get the dream job of your choice. You gotta walk around the streets with all the people, at least the ones that look like you, and having all kind of problems. Because the vast majority of African Americans are one paycheck away from economic poverty. So this is a reality that we don't want to see. And you think that the average African has the same problem that you have in America? They don't. The average African does not go lifestyle where he is one paycheck away from starvation. No, because they have family, they have friends. They take it more seriously than we do. You see? You've been to Africa several times.
All right. Yeah.
So if you in here now, when you look at the people you meet, just look at the average African when you're walking down the street. You don't see that type of so much stress. When you go to a nightclub in Africa, you see the people really enjoying themselves, and there are many clubs like that. And then there are like where I was this evening, places like that where guys just get together and sit around and talk and laugh and joke. That is what's going on here. Peace of mind is there. Peace of mind is there, and we don't have that. Remember, we used to have block parties and we had house parties. You see, those things are gone now because of the economic situation that is exacerbated by the this propaganda of the lawlessness in the black community, and then the problem with guns in the community, this and drugs. You see, all of these things that are there, not in Africa. First of all, in Kenya, guns are illegal, so you can't even own a gun. No one. So you better come with a very good knife if you're gonna rob someone, or or you gonna commit some sort of serious crime. But there's nothing like that type of violence that we have in the U.S. The U.S. I always tell people, U.S. is the murder capital of the world, and it's the rape capital of the world.
Yes.
So you see, you might see it like, okay, things are normal, but incarceration rates, these are problems that you're going to pass on to your children, and you will say like, and you think that you're in a better situation than the people in Africa, and let me tell you, you nowhere they're far ahead of you when it comes to living in a society in peaceful manner, and running a peaceful society. The African is far ahead of the American. In fact, see, here you had the African, he was colonized.
Mm-hmm.
By the white man in his own house, and he broke free from that. You see, so now
But
he
did
broke
he?
free, minutes, and then you're gonna try to tell me that the white man is still there running things. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. I've seen the president get on TV and say this is not gonna happen. I've seen him. The Kenyatta, Jomo Kenyatta was the first president. When he became president of Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
the whites were scared to death. They thought he was a monster. Many of them didn't know who he was. They didn't know what they were going to do. The whites were caught up in Nairobi.
Mm-hmm.
A meeting and told them, "Here I am. I'm not a monster, and I forgive you. You forgive me. We live in peace." You see? No, you can't make that kind of statement coming from a position of disadvantage after you done fought for your independence. It's impossible. People need to break refrain from that. I don't know where the hell they got that idea that he only 2%, less than 2% of the population of Kenya. So how in the world 2% gonna run the whole hunt? It doesn't make no sense.
I would say this. Let's look at South Africa, for example. In my honest opinion, from what I observed and from what I know, Indians and white people run South Africa. That's my honest opinion. So, and we're not talking about as far as faces you'll see in the government. We're talking about economically, as far as do Kenyans really benefit from the resources of Kenya, or are foreign interests taking the majority of the share of the interest? That's what we're talking. That's what we're talking about more economically. But as far as like government and all that, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it can it, but as far as the economy, I just think foreign interests control the economies of Africa. Whether white, Chinese, non-Africans control the economy of Africa. That's my honest opinion from what I observed.
Let me just say this. All you have to do is go look at the Kenya, and you see most people, I think even Ghana, they all created new constitutions recently.
Mm-hmm.
The last 10 years, many African countries created new constitutions, and those constitutions are saying Mzungu, white people can't own land. They made laws that said like that said that colonization is never going to take place here again. So I don't see how they would say like whites or Indians are running things. The Africans come up and they make vote on laws that say that to stop that same type of process from happening. Mm-hmm. Like that, Africa doesn't run like your lifespan. This thing of independence that's going on in Senegal and these areas in West Africa, and what's happening in South Africa, a process that's not by your 5-year process. It's been ongoing. See, Zimbabwe got its independence, and the South Africans said when Blair and Bush on sanctions on Zimbabwe to cause that economy to try to make it collapse, South Africa sat back and kept quiet. Even the president was very quiet, and even though they backed Mugabe, they said no, we won't take a part in it because they didn't want to be sanctioned either. But now today, contrary to popular belief, Zimbabwe is doing well, and people are saying, I remember I was saying somebody wrote on your thing saying I was just in Zimbabwe. You weren't just in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is doing far better today than what would be expected from a country that was so many economic sanctions by the West to try to bring that country down. Yeah? And now South Africa is seeing the benefits, and Mugabe is showing that you can fight against Western imperialism and economic deprivation and win.
Mm-hmm.
And win. Yes. So they didn't bring down Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe is coming up. So South Africans are now demanding, because the land crisis in Zimbabwe and South Africa was always worse than it was in Zimbabwe. And so now it forced the president to come out and say, we want our land back. Because the whites still own majority of the land in South Africa. But that's
Oh,
the way it was
and that's
in all
the
of
point.
Africa.
Okay, so you just kind of proved my point.
It's a wave of all change that's going on, and it's not going to happen. You have to look back in history and see, compare what was going on 20 years ago to where things are today. That's how you can look and see what's happened in Africa. Quick fix, like we in America, we want a quick fix.
Mm-hmm.
Bomb it up, then take what we need. No, Africans are smart. They're taking it worse, changing. That's why you see, even the graph in economics, all of that is happening. Before you know it, you're surprised. Like, why is that? But go back and look at South Africa 20 years ago and compare it to today. Go back and look at Zimbabwe 20 years ago and compare it to go back and look at Kenya 20 years ago and compare it to today. Mm-hmm. That's when you can look and see and say, oh, okay, things are getting better. Yeah? Now they need to be South Africa. I'm sorry to say I lived there, and I'm saying most of the people are on welfare. All the blacks are being given a paycheck, and on Friday they go to the lot. They go spend their money on the lotto.
Yeah, but that's how it is. That's how it is here in America.
Yeah, it's the same. So I'm saying they're gonna get tired of that because Zimbabwe doesn't have that, and the people there are proud to be African, and they fought against the economic, which people feared for no reason, and they're telling the whites in South Africa, we want our land back. No excuses, and you're gonna see some bit of a revolution there, because the South Africa had a great economy, and the economy is going down now because these mindsets are changing. People are saying, no way, they're dropping off of these farms, they're not helping they're not helping these white people run the country the way they were doing in the past. They've been phased out. Economically, in Kenya, it's just like that's an impossibility. They won't let you, especially if you're white. You won't get away with the same things you did your great grandfathers did in Kenya. So yeah, and it's not something that they brag about, even talk about. But you go there and you go there and you start telling black people what to do. You'll find out. You see the real African come out. The Kenyans can be very nice people. Mm-hmm. Very mean too. I've seen them with dealing with whites, so I don't know. It's not going to happen. The youth would never go for it in the first place, and so it's silly. I mean, how would you keep something like that a secret? The president of Kenya is there. He said, I think we should go left. And the white man comes and tells him, no, you go right. Okay. Who he have is his country. Why would he listen to the white man in the first place? Who come from a country that's economically down? Come on. It's jokes. Yeah, come on. Get out of reality. Africa, you're supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be somewhere where that. If the Mzungu ran the country, it would be so down that the people would be suffering. But look at the Kenyan economy. How? Come on, you gotta wake up and stop doing that. That's just making up excuses for not looking at the reality of your own situation. People are telling me, oh, there's disease in Kenya. There's more disease in America.
I agree with that. I agree
in Kenya. Oh, there's so much more in America. You see, they're making it like they like to do that, like to flip the thing, like make the aggressor look like the victim.
Right.
and the victim looked like the aggressor. Yeah, that's false narrative.
All right. And
What we need to know, what we need to remember is, you want peace of mind. At the end of the day, you want peace of mind.
okay.
So if
All
you're in
right.
America and you have a peace of mind, you have that problem.
Okay. Are you familiar with Dr. Amos Wilson?
Yeah, Dr. Emmons, we died now, and I
Okay.
watched his
So
video.
the question is there anywhere in Africa where the teachings of the most honorable Dr. Amos Wilson would be beneficial?
Okay, let me think about Dr. Amos Wilson, because most of his videos were very like 2 hours long. You know, he was a long-winded lecturer, and I try
Well,
to stay with him.
I think he had a book. I read it, The Blueprint to Black Power Economically, or I think something like that was the name of one of his books.
Yeah, you see that you know, that brother is very deep, and he's very long-winded. It's very hard to his concept. But I would take a look at who could I say that you can look at? Umar Johnson. But okay, Umar Johnson has a good talk with no action on that issue. But I mean, Dr. Umar, and about Africa, and I had talked to him, and I was telling him that
You
instead
go.
of building your school in the United States, you can spend more. Saying pay for the land. I mean, paid for the school in America, so that's why he felt like he had to build it. He's not got that done. You can see that thing can't work. But that's what I'm saying. You know, the benefits are in Africa. Any black leader in the United States that is not talking about going to Africa, and that's even Farrakhan. No, seriously, think about it. Every black leader is going to talk, and then they're going to tell you. Even Dr. Claude Anderson, you know, he's going to say Africa. You know, he just make a quick statement. Africa is in the worst problems. I'm like, how can you say Africa is in the worst problems? You know, I've seen that. You know, many black leaders. You know, they're not talking like Farrakhan. I think the other day Farrakhan was talking about buy some land and get our separate land of our own, but he's talking about going to Nebraska and buy land. Did he not see what happened to the last great black city? You know, they burnt it to the ground, and nobody was arrested for that. I mean, I don't think one person was convicted of that. See, if you're gonna talk about Africa, definitely those people that are being called should go. Doesn't mean you don't have to live there forever. You can't go back to the U.S. Just come. You won't starve and die. You won't be on the streets being hungry. If you get hungry, come to my house. No problem. We'll feed you. But you can't think of what happened. It's a different type of lifestyle. People take care of you. People will not let you live out and go hungry. You know what I'm saying? But you also have to have the ability to work. That ability to work, not to have people take care of you because you think you come from the U.S. Nobody in Africa is falling for that nonsense. Okay, some people are falling for it, falling for that nonsense anymore. That you come from a great country. People know what's going on. They see it. They don't believe the movies the way they used to.
All right, let's see here. Last question. People who are watching this who are into martial arts, how can you, I guess, I know you have a service where you somewhat act as someone like a mediator or what's the word I want to use? A guide, a mediator, counsel for him as far as setting that up in Kenya. How do you go about doing that? If you could share that.
About what now? Martial arts? What did you say?
Yes, if they want to set up some type of martial arts program in Kenya, how could you be
Okay, you see, yeah, okay. There is a lot of great. You see, okay. And when I was in the United States, school, and I made that school very successful. But it took me 10 years. But then when I came to Kenya, I was able to replicate that same process to 29 different clubs at the same time. I didn't have racism to block me. I didn't have government interference to stop me. like we have in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
These things will come. So on my side, if you want to make money, you know, I always say that you have to teach children, and then there again, teaching children a certain mindset. Not everyone can teach children, have that patience to teach children.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get if you can get, if you're good with children and the children are liking you, and you understand that the martial arts at the child's level is for fun. You cannot teach children the same way you teach adults. You can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. Uh, so when we came here with Kimpo, they had Shotokan and Taekwondo were all in all the social halls throughout the main city. But when we started having our classes in the social hall, most people gravitated towards Kimpo, and we pushed the Taekwondo and Shotokan out. They went straight to the schools. Really had a problem in schools because they were teaching the children the same way they were taught as adults, and that's a lot of exercise. You don't give children exercises. Their bodies are not designed for that at that age. That's what they were doing up to this day. We came with our program in the children's class, and I had a very, very successful school. There are two or three of them in teaching children.
Mm.
But even in Kenya, you have Kenyans that believe that, you know, martial arts is a lot of exercises, and that's just not the case.
Mm. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out. Is there anything in closing that you want to share or tell the people? And also give your contact information as well, and I'll make sure I'll put it in the description as well. So, Grandmaster, you have the floor.
Okay, I just wanted to say that that no, they're not going to ever come to Africa. Support on them. They have other type of legal legalities that keep them from being able to go. One of the biggest uh, killers from having us to travel is debt. Many of us are in debt today, and they can't afford to come based off of other things that they have to do. Next year, the IRS has a law coming up in January that's saying that if you owe back taxes, they can deny you a passport or deny you leave the U.S. And
Dang.
this is what's happening. You can't. You're not going to get away, and it's going to be harder. Telling people when Trump was talking about building that wall, he's not saying keep Mexicans out. He's going to keep us from trying to get out. We won't be able to get out. You can't go to Canada. So where are you? You stuck. Canada free, and they got wall on one side and border patrol on the other side. You're joking. If you're getting called to come out, there is a bit of a pressure for you to hurry up and make that move. You should, you know, make that plan and try to make it. But yeah, debt is great. Is a big killer for people to come, and you should recognize that rather than make excuses on why you shouldn't go there. Or people see like I can't leave, so I'm gonna talk shit about Africa. That's nonsense. You know, you should not talk about the motherland like that. You should try to make a way to get there, and you will see that a lot of the pressure that you have in the U.S. when you're in the motherland.
Mm.
So
All right.
yeah, that's why I know I'm on the mind. I know that there are a lot of people that think you know, where can they go? How can they start? How can they? I don't know anybody in Africa. You got so many Africans in the United States. All you have to do is get friends with them.
Exactly.
Facebook. So when I got so many Kenyan friends 10 years before I even went to Kenya. You see? Once you get a, like if you decide to go to Ghana, you find Ghanaian people in your city, they're there. And then you just befriend them. And it's not very hard to be friends with them. They might be standoffish at first because Americans, the way they would trust Mzungus. But you can show them that you're different, you know?
Right.
Like I'm here in Kenya, I feel like I represent all black people, so I don't go around doing stupid things, because what they see in me, they'll say, "Oh, black people are all like that." So I have a responsibility towards my people, way, you know, be honest, you know, these type of things, and these are traits you're supposed to have in the first place. So, yeah, if you want to come to Africa, you should don't badmouth it. make a plan, write it down, and then come. You will not be disappointed. Trust me. I've been here 20 years.
Also give your give people your contact information where they can reach you, and also I'll put it in the description box as well.
Okay, well, I'm on Facebook mostly every day.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm in K Rahh on Facebook. You know, we have a page for my digital education, digital content program, ccgate.com, and yeah, of course for Mantis Temple, you can get so much on email, but mostly Facebook.
Okay. Okay. And then and I'm gonna ask you this last question. Nancy's asking you.
On my phone.
Nancy's always been a
Ignore.
loyal to and has always contributed to this platform. She wants to know. This is the last question. She wants to know how do Africans see the Africans of the diaspora who lost their African nationality? If you know that answer. Hello. Hello. Nancy, I think we lost them. You there?
No, wait.
Okay. Did you get the question?
No, I didn't get the question, but let me put some.
But it's the last question. I think we lost him, you guys. We're gonna go ahead and close out. Thank you for coming on, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this page. Search for Uhuru. Also go to Instagram. Search for Uhuru. It's a tag. Please like and follow me on Instagram. Search for Uhuru. Do the same for Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter. Make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Make sure you go to searchforuhuru.com. And then please make sure you go to amazon.com. Search your name, Dynasty Mir. Buy a book. I've written it myself. Please support and buy one. Dynasty Mir, the Kapitan Don. Till next time, peace.